This is today's WWE NXT full show results video, and the show opens with the Pretty Deadly appearance. They come to the ring and remind us that they'll be hosting Stand and Deliver, and in their first official acts as host, they're wiping last week's footage from the archives, meaning you won't be able to see those neckbeards Gallus beat them, nor Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker jumping them and putting them through a table. Then Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams come, and Melo said they will talk their talk, so Pretty Deadly should go walk their walk, and Wilson asks if that's an invitation to a match, and soon enough a brawl breaks out. Bron Breakker runs down and makes the save right as Pretty Deadly take control of the situation, and press slams one over the ropes and into the other. Bron helps Carmelo up and tells him he won't let anything happen to him between now and Stand and Deliver. Then we saw a match between Indi Hartwell and Tiffany Stratton to qualify for the NXT Women's Championship, and the result of this match was Tiffany Stratton defeated Indi Hartwell by pinfall with the double jump moonsault, qualifying for the NXT Women's Championship ladder match at Stand and Deliver. Then Gigi Dolan is interviewed backstage, and she says it's too early to judge the field, but she's not sorry about Jacy Jayne's arm, and she can just sit at home and watch her as she climbs her way up just like she did last time she was in a ladder match. Tiffany Stratton rolls up to tell her she has no chance in the title match and has another Tiffany epiphany, and she's gonna win by climbing the ladder to the tippy top. Then Wesley comes in the ring, mic in hand, and said he has to prove to the whole world and the man in the mirror that he can and will compete against the best from around the world and deserves to be NXT North American Champion. Then Dragon Lee's music hits, and he comes in the ring and said it's Stand and Deliver he wants to be part of the five-way, and Lee says this is what he loves. He's been following Dragon's career from Mexico to Japan and he thought it'd take longer, but he's impatient and Lee is in the match. Then enter JD McDonough, and says they've been running their mouths while he was getting ready, and he tells them to take a seat and watch a master do his work as he dismembers Ilya Dragunov. Wes asks what his excuse is going to be after Ilya rips him apart, and JD says he should count himself lucky he's not interested in the title because he wouldn't be standing here at all. Then Ilya Dragunov makes his entrance, and we saw a match between Ilya Dragunov versus JD McDonough, and the match goes to a no contest, presumably, and post-match, Wesley dives over the top into the brawl. Then Johnny Gargano makes his entrance, except he's not Johnny Gargano, he's Big Body Javi, and he mocks the crowd for thinking Johnny was coming out and says he's been busting his ass for 7 years, 7 months. What's he got that Javi doesn't? He'd take himself over Johnny wrestling every week. Gargano hits the ring and beats Javi up, throwing him over the barricade, and he gets in the ring and on the mic and calls Grayson Waller out. He wants to make this personal, he'll raise the stakes, and he has a contract for a type of match he knows very well. April 1st, Stand and Deliver, Grayson Waller versus Johnny Gargano in an unsanctioned match. No rules, anything goes, no one is liable for what he'll do to Waller, and all he has to do is sign. Waller appears on the Tron, and he'll sign the contract if Johnny swears that he'll stay out of the building next week, and Gargano agrees and gives the contract to Vic Joseph to give to Grayson next week. Javier Bernal appears behind him and Johnny superkicks him for good measure. Then we get a video package for Eddie Thorpe, better known as Carl Fredericks, who'll be on the show next week. The next match happened between Ivy Nile versus Lyra Valkyria to qualify for the NXT Women's Championship match, and the result of this match was Lyra Valkyria won the match by pinfall with a roundhouse kick, qualifying for the NXT Women's Championship ladder match at Stand and Deliver. Then we saw a great debate between Chase U and Tyler Bate versus The Schism. Both teams delivered their arguments, and that was really so much fun, and I guess Chase U win by acclaim. In the main event of the show, we saw a tag team match between Bron Breakker and Carmelo Hayes versus Pretty Deadly, and the result of this match was Bron Breakker and Carmelo Hayes won the match by pinfall with nothing but net from Hayes on Kit Wilson. Post-match, Hayes gives Breakker his NXT championship and Bron raises it high while they have a stare down, and the show goes off air.